Welcome to day 6. Yes, day 6 of the live comic book reviews event. So, today we're going to be reviewing, and today is the last day that I will be reviewing Phantom Comics live on the channel. How great is that? How awesome is that? And today, live on the channel, I will be reviewing issue number 1956, A Web of Lies, an awesome cover done by Lauren Marshall. Hey. And issue number 1957, Lafitte's Treasure. It's going to be wicked, it's going to be awesome. And we've also got to tip this live stream into 5th gear and into full throttle. We have the Rock Oz Star and a beautiful cover done by Antonio Lemos. Look at that. Just look at it. It's amazing. Fantastical. So, let's get into it. And also, this comic book has a back cover, which is pretty awesome. Pretty cool looking. By Frank Sankei. Pretty cool looking dude. Is he the Phantom? Has the Phantom turned into a band? And also, we have some Christmassy, jollyful Christmassy music in the background, and tonight's Christmas music is brought to you by Lofi Girl on YouTube. So shout out to Lofi Girl on YouTube for supplying the music for tonight. And we have Christmas Lofi Radio, Cozy Mates Beats to get festive too. It's Cozy Beats to get festive too. So, I hope you enjoy this live comic book review, whether you're listening to this on the replay or whether you're listening to this in the future. I hope you enjoy this live comic book review or this potentially future comic book review of these 3 awesome Phantom comics. So let's get into it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, the first story that we have for tonight is A Web of Lies. The writer for this story is Klaus Ramothi, and the art is supplied by Kari Lappinen. And this story was first published by Egmont Scandinavia in Phantom number 6 and 7 in 2021. It was originally published in 2021. How good is this? How good does this look? How good is Kari Lappinen's art? Okay, so we start off with a ship comes to a wreck, and there's this you think that there's this shipping crew, but no, it's not a shipping crew, it's a band of misfits. A band of misfits, and they are taking everything that they can from the ship. They are wrecking this ship. They are exploiting this ship, and how would you have it? The Phantom survives. The Phantom is taken care of by this daughter of this wealthy person that doesn't really want to do anything about this unknown gang. And this unknown gang is holding this town, this village, to ransom. And because this town is getting held by ransom, it means that they live in fear that some pirates are going to attack them. They live in fear because they can't do anything about it. And they live in fear because they don't want to do anything about it because they may bring further troublesomes to their village. And we find out that the Phantom has amnesia. How many times has this character, how many times has the Phantom had amnesia throughout the last 80 odd years? Oh, a fair few times, I can tell you that right now. He must just be a magnet to amnesia. Yeah, so then the Phantom wants to try and find out who he actually is, because he doesn't know who his name is. He doesn't have a name for himself, so he just invents one. He doesn't know his original name. He doesn't know that he's Mr. Walker, and he doesn't know that he's the Phantom. And at the end of this story, we see that for some reason, we see that the Phantom is not only just the Phantom. He is a person that now holds in this Norwegian comic book series, he now holds a different identity as well. He holds another identity. He holds another identity, and that simply is this person right here. Who is this person right here? Well, he is a person that he is trying to make sure that this town is safe. He's a person that wants to make sure that these people that are harming this village get what they rightfully deserve. And he's also a person that happens to be the Phantom, but he's also a person that some time down at this current point in time, he's also another identity, and that identity doesn't necessarily mean that he's the Phantom. He has invented a new personality, and not to the point where he's actually gonna go and kill someone, but he's invented another costumed hero, another person that wants to make things right, another one that just wants to help people. And we find out that the person that the Phantom was trying to get rid of actually, well, he kills himself, because he goes over a ledge and pretty much falls to his death. And that's not from the Phantom's doing. That's not from the Phantom's doing. And then later on, we find out that the person who had started this wreckage, started this shipwreck in the first place, will be brought to justice, will be brought to a court hearing, and we will see if something comes out of that court hearing. And this is what it says. Later, it is my duty to return your stolen property, my lord. Thank you, my lord. What will happen to the wreckers? The law is clear about what punishment applies, but these are difficult times. Starvation and hardship lead to desperate acts. Maybe there are mitigating circumstances, maybe not. There is nothing more I can do for Witchcross. That's the town that we're talking about. Justice must prevail, but in this case, I also hope for a little grace and mercy. And then we have the Pinstripe Wizards. It's written by Jason Franks, and the artist for this story is supplied. The art is supplied for this story by K. Boris, I think it's called. K. Boris. And this is part 1 of the Pinstripe Wizards. It's a quite interesting story, it's a story that we haven't seen being done before. I think with good reason, because not many people would try that the Phantom would actually go to a concert. Yes, the Phantom goes to a concert with Diana Walker, a very, very young looking Diana. Yes, very, very young looking Diana. And what happens at this concert is that there's a terrorist group around, and that there's this terrorist part of this group that wants to kill heaps of people, and the Phantom happens to be a ghost who walks that sings. He's in a rock and roll band. Just look at that. Just look at that. Oh, that's awesome. I think that is got to be one of the most creative type Phantom stories that I've ever seen, I've ever read, and that is just got to be one of the most favorite Phantom stories that I think I've ever read myself. I think that story was awesome. That part 1's even awesome, part 2's even awesomer. And it says in the last sort of splash page, it says, "Wizards, wizards, wizards." And we're back, Martwan. This number is the first single from our newest album. It's called Fistful of Justice. I think you cats and dogs will gonna dig it. To be continued, next issue, 1957. If you want to learn more about how to subscribe to the Phantom for $208 per year, you can go to this website right here. I told you that this was going to be an awesome story, and yet it has prevailed. Oh, how good was it? Yeah, and it continues in this issue. Okay, we have the Jean Lafitte's Treasure. This story has been wrote by Klaus Raymerthy, and the art has been supplied by the legendary Kari Leppänen. And it was first published by Egmont Scandinavia in Phantom issue number 20. In number 20, 20, the year 2019. Okay, in this story we find that there's this archaeologist, this very, very, well, she's not an archaeologist, she's not even a paleontologist, she's just a nurse, a UN nurse that actually comes across this piece of paper at this particular house, and oh yes, that follows a heap of things going on. So the news breaks the story that the legendary pirate Jean Lafitte's treasure has been potentially going to be unearthed, and there's this gang, this very dark, very evil type gang wanting a piece of this treasure for themselves, only for themselves. And they meet up with Diana Walker, who is at the time working for the UN agency, and with her friend, a UN nurse. And they tell of a story that when Jean Lafitte was still a pirate, he was being chased by the British. And it goes a bit like this. At the same time, Lafitte was in a great deal of trouble. In September of that year, an American Navy flotilla destroyed his pirate base in Barataria. That day, the Navy took 8 ships and seized $500,000 worth of cargo. But Lafitte escaped on a ship loaded with valuables. He mustn't have been in desperate need of somewhere to hide his wealth, and just under a month later, he donates money to the nunnery. I think he used the renovation to hide his treasure somewhere in the nunnery, and now it will be ours. Good job, Beastall. And we find out that this nunnery actually holds a very, very deep question. It holds a very, very deep question. That question involves riddles. It involves deadliness. It involves adventure, and it involves finding a treasure, a very sacred treasure. And it also involves people maybe passing away, because every single time a person tries to go and make a treasure movie, like, have any use, if you can comment down below, this movie is awesome. I can't wait for the second movie. It's called Uncharted. It's from a video game. I have not played it, but the movie is fantastic. It's got Mark Wahlberg in it. It's got the guy that plays Spider-Man. Yes, that the Tom guy, the Tom, the guy that plays Spider-Man, Tom, that dude that plays Spider-Man. It's got him in it. It's got Mark Wahlberg in it. It's got if you want to think that someone is probably in it, he's probably in it. Considering budgets. Considering budgets. Like we have no budget for a movie. Yes, most Phantom movies didn't really get up to it. Like the 1996 movie did get it holds well for last. It's held well for a very, very long time, and still holds well up until till this day. But the Phantom gets onto it. He wants to find out why Diana Walker is hooked up with this gang. He he actually helps. The Phantom actually has to help. He has to help. And he finds this treasure. He finds this treasure chest. People think that it's actually the treasure that but no. This particular treasure chest leads to the next clue. And then that clue then leads to a grave, which we all think that it's Jean Lafitte's gravesite. No, it's not. It's not that. And the Phantom goes to work. He gets one person, then he gets the next person, then he gets the next person. And out of the blue, you are wrong. Now the Duke is also missing. Stick together. Then he can't sneak up on us. You are wrong. In the fog, no fall rules apply. I don't understand. How did you do it? How are you still alive? You know magic tricks can save you from this. Go on again? This is crazy. Only be a partition. Can it appear, disappear, just like that? Bestall, you pathetic worm. And he takes a person by his hand. The Phantom doesn't want any of it. He is out of it. And he is gone. He's punched out of his absolute living daylights. And so we find out that the Phantom had dealt with those people. A moment later, he finds Diana and her friend, and they go back to the same statue that they were just looking at. And will you have a look at this? We won't get the answer today. You can come back with archaeologists, with real equipment. You may be right. The metal detector has found something. And later in the next day, in the Louisiana Picayune, Jean Lafitte's mythical creature found, and the criminal hears of this. He says, "Damn them all!" The only difference between the two statues is that the one looks down and the other looks up. That is the difference. And now we have the Pinstripe Wizards. Really, really, really entertaining story. Loved it. Absolutely love these type of stories where they have like a historical link, a historical element to it. Love those stories. And people will hear me say this time and time again. I loved the story that Klaus Rehmurthy did. It was probably 30 odd years ago, and he wrote a story on the assassination of President Lincoln. And I absolutely love that story. And if you do not know about that story, I reviewed that comic book it might have been 2 or 3 years ago, and I still love that story. I think it was published in 1997, either 97 or 98, and it's been published by a few publications in the past. So, okay, we have the Pinstripe Wizards Part 2, and it's the writer is Jason Franks and the artist is Kay Boris. Franks. So, the Phantom, there is this terrorist group. They're wanting to blow up a part of this concert that the Phantom and Diana Walker are at. And so the Phantom wants none of that. He wants to find out who this terrorist is, who this terrorist organization is, how they got there, because they had recently escaped from over the border. They'd come to Bengala to seek absolute revenge. They don't want to be letting other people have fun. And we finally have the people that we were asking for. The Phantom tackles one of them, and at the end of this story, he absolutely belts a massive jam. He bakes a massive jam. He has a song for ages, and didn't you know our Phantom was a singer? Yes, he's featured in a Pinstripe Wizards, and at the end of this story, we hear the Pinstripe Wizards are now having a live concert at Bengala in deep woods. The ghost who rocks, who doesn't love a rocking dog. Okay, we have our last Phantom comic that I'm going to be reviewing in this epic 6 days that I've been reviewing Phantom comics on this channel consecutively every single day. I've been reviewing Phantom comics. I've been loving the process. I've been loving talking about the Phantom, bringing up conversations, bringing up topics, bringing up everything that to do with the Phantom. And I can literally say that we have reviewed 17 Phantom comics. I love that everyone has been here for the journey, has been witnessing absolutely history here. And our last Phantom comic is issue number 1959. It's Ruck-Ah's Star, and the cover is done by Antonio Lemos and is absolutely beautiful. So let's get into it. Let's check out this last story of 2023. Let's go. So we have Bengala 1924. This story, the Ruck-Ah's Star, was wrote by Daniel Carson, and the art is provided by Anthony Spay. I called it. I absolutely called it on The Enthusiast. And if you didn't know, then the latest episode of The Enthusiast out, and it's absolutely wicked. It's epic. So this story was first published by Egmont Scandinavia in Phantom Man issue number 9 from 2021. And we have that there's these evil group of people. The Phantom is following those evil group of people, and there's these evil group of people, as I said, hoping and wanting to find some ruins that lead to a treasure. And we find out that this group of people isn't great. The Phantom comes onto it. He follows them. The Phantom is in very, very not great sorts. And a native of those jungles, a native of Bengala, a native of the woods and the jungle, actually saves the Phantom from passing away. And this particular evil character wants to get this treasure at no cost to anyone else. She wants it very, very badly and doesn't care how she eventually gets it. She wants it for all herself. She wants it for all entirety, and this is how the last couple of panels go. The curse claims its victim again, and that evil female character, finally she falls into the pit. Yes, she's passed away. She is gone forever. And now, the Raka was an ancient in this storyline. In this storyline, he was an ancient emperor, ancient ruler of a particular jungle tribe. He was so wealthy, so renowned, so looked up to, that with a lot of ancient civilizations, they did sacrifices to a god. And this is what has been wrote in this story. It's about a ancient civilization being discovered, A. B, it's about a group of people, an evil group of people, wanting to take advantage of that situation. It's about someone saving the Phantom and having all of the tribe's appreciation, obviously the Phantoms as well. And it's also about how ancient civilizations still impact on today's world. Like, you take, for instance, where the Egyptians, they had pottery, they were great at science, they were great at engineering, they were great engineers, and they brought together some of the best architects. They were some of the best architects on the planet in their time. But they built some of the greatest buildings. You could say the buildings, like they built the Sphinx, they built the Great Pyramids of Egypt, and they built tombs that are on sand. They were very, 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 very accurate. They used measurements. They used everything that early humans could figure out. That they were amazing at what they did. Like, you have a look at the Romans. They were great at architects. They were great at building things. They were a great empire. They were a great emperor. They had some of the greatest figures in history. One of the greatest and one of the most popular figures in history is Julius Caesar. I recently did some research on Julius Caesar, and did you know that Julius Caesar was assassinated when he was only in his mid-50s? He got assassinated, and he got assassinated by his own council. How insane is that? And like, there's all across the line of history, there has been particular events, and those particular events influence what we've seen in the future. And I reckon every ancient civilization has definitely influenced how modern day humans look at different things and look at different things in the modern day world. And I guess this story very, very symbolizes that ancient civilizations were, and us, they are appreciated right now. They are still appreciated right now. And modern day humans right now, like myself, still marvel at some of the things that they built, and still marvel at some of the practices they also were doing back in those years. Like, they were doing sacrifices, they were believing in gods, like Incas, the Aztecs, they believed in the sun god, which is, yeah, it's pretty good. For their time, it's pretty good. And like the Persians, they believe in stuff. They believe in a lot of stuff. Not any disrespect or anything, but they were great. All the civilizations throughout time are awesome. They still live on till today, and they will still live on till tomorrow. I tell you that right now. Okay, so we have the last story for this year. It is called The Bad Blood in Bengala. It's drawn and illustrated and wrote by Shane Foley. It is The Old Devil Road. Yes, Devil Road is back in this, baby. He is back in it. He is back from Leaf. He is absolutely back in it. So, Devil Road, this story, I read this story and I marveled at it because it's awesome. This story, there's a Ryan, and Ryan? Yeah, there's a Ryan. There's also a rhino, Brad. There's also a rhino. There's this rhino that is terrorizing the jungle. People don't know what to do. They go to the Phantom. The Phantom figures it out, and he figures out that there could be these little people. Who are these little people? Who are these golden people? And he goes to work it out. And I absolutely love this page. This page is number 29. Hey, we've got a missing number on this page. This page is supposed to be number 29, but the number isn't here. Have a look at that. I didn't even notice that until right now. I didn't even notice that when I was first having a look at that story. Look at that. Well, would you believe there's a number? No number. There's a number? No number. Well. That just puts into respect that few publications are, I think in the last year's Christmas special, there was a fair few errors and printing mistakes in that issue. Like, I'm pretty sure I showed that on the channel, I think last year. But yeah, minimal. Okay, I love this page. I absolutely love this page. It has one of the only appearances that Devil Road actually makes in the Phantom. The Devil Road actually comes from a Lee Falk story that Lee Falk wrote in his time that he was writing about the Phantom, and I love this. I love this page by Shane Foley. I think that's one of the best pages out of this storyline so far. Like, we're gonna have a look at it. Gonna have a real good look at it. Just look at the detail and the work that's gone into it, and also look at the perspective of all the scenes. Look at that. That's beautiful. And it being in black and white just makes it that whole lot better. I think also in this panel you can see a lot of rule of thirds, which is a photography and video perspective format. What do you call it? Rule of thirds is a compositional tool that people use in photos and videos and in movies. You see it all the time in movies. You see it all the time in the movies. Because it's fairly popular. You see it everywhere. Okay, so we also see in this first part that's done by Shane Foley, we have the Golden People, we have Devil Road, obviously. We also have the Little People, and not only that, but we also have the leopard people, which aren't really that inviting. Okay, so I'll read a couple of pages here. Another attack. We're just in time. Hero, devil, go! And the leopard poor people are now attacking this poor jungle visitor. All of you run! Do it! No shooting! He moves too fast! Get her out of here! And that her I think is to do with the golden people or something. Stay back, or, and then we have an absolutely awesome splash page to finish the first part off. Or, continued in the Haunter track. And yes, if we're going to see the Haunter Witch come into this at some point, I'm going to be like literally just excited. Like my excitement will just go off that Richter scale. The Haunter Witch. The Haunter Witch is another very popular story that was done by Lee Falk. I don't think it gets enough recognition, and I don't think it gets published enough, that Haunter Witch story. It's been published a fair few times by a few publications, but not by a lot of other people. Well, what I've seen, not a lot of other people. Yeah. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm actually loving where that story is going right now. Okay, then we have the forum, letters, comments, social media. And if you want to send your suggestions and your feedback to Dudley, you can send your suggestions and feedback are always welcome at Dudley's email at dudley@fewpublications.com.au. I normally read these forums, so yeah, I normally read these, but yeah, there was a lot of really good suggestions and a lot of really good emails in this lot. And then we have this, if you want to learn more about subscribing to the Phantom and getting your Phantom comics mint in condition in the mailbox, you can read more about subscribing to the Phantom for this amount of dollars at this website right here at phantomcomic.com.au. And if you want to learn more about this whole ad, you can go to this website. Okay, just look at that back cover. Look at it. That's the back cover by Antonio Lemos. And this is the front cover by Antonio Lemos. I absolutely love his work. I admire his paintings. I love his stuff. And if you hear a dog out there, yeah, there's a dog out there. Okay. I hope you loved this new, well, it's not really new, but hello. I hope you enjoyed this look at, well, we looked at a heap of Phantom comics. We looked at 17 to be exact in 6 days. So I hope you enjoyed watching me review live Phantom comics on the channel. So as always, I appreciate everyone coming and either looking at these Phantom comics with me live on the channel or just in the future. Thank you for viewing these reviews in the future. You help a fair bit with reviews and comic book and stuff that I make on this channel. Yeah, thanks Daninsky. Yeah, your comments have been very, very fun to read the last couple of days. They've been good. But anyways, thank you for coming here, letting me review some Phantom comics for everyone out there in YouTube land and people watching on YouTube as well as, and just a head up for everyone that's watching or actually watching my videos that I will make on YouTube. There will be a new video, new comic book review coming out tomorrow at I think 6 p.m. Australian time. So there'll be a new comic book review coming out tomorrow on Friday. That'll be pretty awesome. as everyone know, there will be. I'll try and get some other stuff as well. Hopefully, we'll see how we're going. But yeah, there should be Christmas special coming very, very soon. I was working on it yesterday, actually. I was working on it yesterday after I finished the review, editing the comic book review. And there should be a New Year's special coming very, very soon. There should be a couple 2023 edition of Best Phantom Comics coming out very, very soon. And what else? There's one other video coming out, and at some point there's a heap of other stuff coming out next year in 2024. And there will be a very, very... I can't spoil it. I can't spoil this. This is too good. But there will be a very, very special part to that Christmas special as well. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you for supporting this YouTube channel with all the stuff that I make. And as always, keep Phantom Caving, stay safe, and have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And you will see me next year in 2024. My Christmas special my Christmas break goes from the 22nd of December, which starts tomorrow, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. And goes until the 8th of January, somewhere in there. And the fifth season of The Enthusiast will be coming back next year in 2024. So a lot happening on Phantom Cave reviews next year. And as always, keep Phantom Caving, stay safe. Thank you, and bye.